Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 creepy Google Maps images finally explained. So I'm sure if you've been on the internet or on this channel, you know there's some really scary things on Google Maps and Google Street. I've made a bunch of videos talking about some scary unexplained things on Google Maps, but after researching, some of these things have finally been explained. And here are some new things we've never talked about on this channel too, which have finally been explained. Before we get into it, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too. Coming in at number 10, we have Giant Bunny. So a few years back, Google Maps users everywhere were stunned when they saw this. Out in the middle of nowhere in Italy on a mountain lies a giant pink bunny rabbit. But why is this massive big bunny sprawled on a hillside in northern Italy? It's kind of a creepy bunny rather than a happy one. The creature's mouth is wide open and its eyes look to be rolled up. Well, another amazing fact about this passed out bunny which you can't see from above is it's actually knitted. You may have thought this was made with bricks or something, but no, this massive bunny was actually knitted together by a group of people. But why, you may be asking? Well, this pink animal has actually been knitted by a Vietnamese art collection named Gelatin. That's right guys, this giant creepy bunny is simply an art installation. It's pretty impressive though, it's 200 feet long and is supposed to attract tourists. It is in the middle of nowhere though, so I'm not sure how successful that is. One thing it definitely did attract was a bunch of confused Google Maps users. Believe it or not, if you visit this thing, you can even climb and play on the bunny. It's going to remain on the mountainside until 2025 when it will finally be removed. But guys, if you want to see it, I would get down there right now. That is because this bunny is decomposing. I'm not sure what's creepier, a giant bunny rabbit laid out on a mountain or a decomposing giant bunny laid out on a mountain. Either way, consider this Maps mystery finally explained. Next up is girl. So in 2009, before any of these creepy Google Maps lists even existed, someone found something strange on Google Street View. A British man was looking at his home on Middle Road, Worcestershire. That was when he saw something that terrified him. He let other people know, and within a few months, everyone was anxiously browsing this street as they thought they saw a murder scene. As you can see, laid out on the floor appears to be the body of a girl. Her shoes are off and she's laying face down. Many residents and users who saw this thought the girl had been killed. But it wasn't until 1 year later in 2010 when the girl in the photo came forward, saying that she wasn't dead. Believe it or not, this was one of the first ever pranks on a Google streetcar. This is actually Azura Bibajan, who's 10 years old. She was outside her home when this happened playing with a friend, and then she saw the Google streetcar come by. She then decided to play dead in hopes to prank the Google streetcar. Her mother said the photos caused a lot of fuss amongst her neighbors, but Azura and her mother find the photo very funny. It's pretty impressive that one 10-year-old girl can troll millions and millions of people. So this photo has finally been explained. Next up is lips. So earlier this year, someone saw something very strange in the Sudan desert. What they found was a mysterious body part in the desert. But what body part was it? Don't worry, it wasn't an arm or leg or head, instead it was a giant pair of lips. That's right, a massive pair of lips was spotted in the desert. Now at first, many people simply said this was a prank that someone's made out in the Sudan desert. But this 500 meter long pair of lips is not fake whatsoever. In fact, it's totally real and naturally made. You may be wondering, why does it take this form? Well, that's simple, it's actually a hill. You may be wondering if it's a hill, then why is the sand color different? Well, that's not actually sand, the orange thing on the hill is actually rock. That's right, there's less sand and more orange rock on this very steep 500 meter long hill. And the row of trees making the line in the lips is simply a coincidence. It's likely due to how some of the hill is shaded by the sun. When this photo was discovered in 2018, it sparked many UFO extraterrestrial theories. But I hate to break it to you lovable tinfoil hat wearers, but this has been finally explained. Next up is bin bodies. So we've already seen the body of one girl, which was debunked as a prank. But what if you saw a bunch of bodies all put in a bin? In 2014, one person got very scared when they saw this in Chile. As you can see, it looks like many bodies have been dumped in a dumpster. They also appear to have been taped up in duct tape, which is also what cartels in Mexico do. But don't worry guys, there are no Mexican cartels at work here. Instead, these are simply bodies of mannequins. That's right guys, this dumpster is right next to a Chilean clothing store. These are simply old mannequins they must not have wanted, and they happened to put it out on the same day the Google streetcar came by. It's kind of bad timing, but also good, seeing as I'm sure this shop got a lot of press. Everyone thought these were definitely bodies, as many people think that Chile is a dangerous country. But this image was actually caught in one of the least dangerous parts of the country. So don't worry, the police don't need to get involved here. I'm pretty sure even the fashion police don't get involved with mannequins. Next up is airplane graveyard. So it's no secret that military bases are blocked out on Google Maps. This is because other countries don't want other countries to know what technology and airplanes they have. So that is why many military air bases are blurred out on Google Maps. But did you know that the place which holds the most military jets is actually completely available to view? And it's in the middle of the desert in Tucson, Arizona, USA. But what are all of these thousands and thousands of aeroplanes all over the place? You may think it's the world's biggest airport or a version of Area 51. But no, this is what's referred to as the Airplane Graveyard. That stands for Aerospace Maintenance and Regeneration Center. It's basically a boneyard where they put all abandoned airplanes. But these aren't just any old commercial airplanes. These are US military, Air Force, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard and Army planes. There are also many other national agencies' planes which are all dumped here. There's over 4,200 aircraft in AMARC, and looking at this place is really amazing. Many people thought this was some kind of Area 51-esque secret alien base. But no, it's simply AMARC, which is actually also pretty fascinating. The reason why they're out in the desert is because it's dry all year round. This way the aircraft won't rust, and they can be used for parts. Unfortunately, this airplane boneyard is not available to the public. It would be absolutely amazing to just walk around this place. But due to national security, that is not an option. And guys, in case you're wondering, this entire area here is owned by AMARC. So there's room for centuries more abandoned old military jets. Next up is Blood Trail. So this is another very scary Google Maps image that looks like a crime. If you guys look at this image, you likely think it's a guy dragging a body to throw it in this lake. That's what everyone thought, and the police even looked into this. But no guys, the man in this image has come forward and he said it's totally innocent. Here's what happened. There is a man in this image, but the other body is actually just a dog. His dog was playing in the lake, getting all wet. Then when it ran up this boardwalk, it changed to the color of the wood. We all know that wood changes color as it gets wet, and that's exactly what happened here. So the man wasn't trying to throw a body off this dog. Instead, he was simply playing with his dog on a nice sunny day. It's pretty crazy how something so innocent can look so sinister from above. It's a good thing there wasn't a police helicopter above them at this point. Otherwise, they could have also got the wrong idea and this guy could have been in trouble. It's pretty insane there was so much media attention around this image, the man actually had to come forward himself. But it just goes to show guys, sometimes things look worse from above. Next up is Alien. So we've already looked at some pretty paranormal stuff on this list, but nothing is more paranormal than an alien. Well, if you go to Lorraine, France, you'll see what appears to be an alien on somebody's balcony. The alien appears to simply be standing there taking in the view. And it's very scary. It's a stick-like black figure with glowing white eyes. And it's even got its own alien bike. UFOs are so bad for the environment, so it's good this alien is riding a bike. But seriously guys, what actually is this thing? Well guys, I can confirm it's simply a sculpture that someone's put outside. I'm not sure if they did this to prank passers-by at the Google Maps car. Who knows, maybe they're simply storing it out there. Either way, this is a pretty genius way to make sure your house never gets burgled. You're hardly gonna rob a house with an alien standing guard. Some people really did think an alien might have been living in this house. But those people need to realize that American Dad is a cartoon and not reality. So guys, this Google Maps image has officially been debunked. Next up is Kangaroo Girl. So we've already seen one very scary girl who appeared to lie down dead. This girl isn't dead, however she did seem to have the legs of a kangaroo. And what's even scarier is she was seen on an ancient Mayan site. You know, the Mayans who predicted the world would end in 2012? Yeah, those guys. The Mayans weren't right about the world ending, and neither were the people who thought this girl was half kangaroo. As you can see, the girl outside this pyramid statue seems very strange. The top half of her is fine, but she appears to have bow legs. I'm sure we've all seen bow legs before, but this is something else. Well guys, don't worry, this girl is not terribly deformed. Instead, there's a very simple explanation that Google cleared up. You see, Google Maps camera is not just one camera. It's many cameras that take tons and tons of pictures. Then these are all automatically stitched together by a computer. And in case you guys don't know, Google Maps takes pictures like we read a book. They go from left to right and go down. So initially, this girl must have been facing right. And she must have then turned around as the pictures were being taken. That would explain why half of her body is facing one way and the other half is facing the other way. Really, it's a pretty simple explanation, but it still makes this image look very scary. People got very excited as this was by this Mayan statue. But this is simply a tourist attraction which is very popular. So guys, have no fear, there's no aliens or scary Mayan curses out in the world. Or at least if there is, it's not in this debunked Google Maps image. Next up is Donkey. So a few years back, Google Maps users were outraged at Google. We all know Google have had a few controversies in the past. but many people said this was the worst one ever. But don't worry guys, as this photo has been explained. If you go on Street View in the middle of nowhere in Botswana, you can see a donkey. Then if you click past the donkey and turn around, you can see the donkey is lying on the floor. Many people thought the Google Maps car had actually hit or ran over the donkey, and they concluded that some poor Botswanan donkey was dead, all thanks to Google. This theory was first tweeted by a Sheldon Cooper fan account. Yeah, that should already answer a few questions. But these images were soon picked up by mainstream news websites like CNET. Fox and News.au in Australia also picked this up and did lengthy articles. But after 24 hours, Google finally explained. They simply said that Google did not do this, and instead the donkey is doing what is called a dust bath. If any of you guys grew up around donkeys or animals, you'll know what this means. Sometimes donkeys and other animals like to roll around in the dust. This is to remove parasites and flies from their fur. You'll see many animals, including donkeys in very hot countries, doing this all the time. So guys, have no fear. Google's slogan is "Don't be evil," and in this instance, they were not being evil whatsoever. Next up is UFO. So guys, we've seen a bunch of alien activity on this list already, which has been totally debunked. And this photo is no exception. In 2017, UFO fanatics went nuts because of an image caught in a forest in Romania. A famous YouTube alien hunter thought he saw a UFO in a Romanian forest. As you can see, it does look like a quintessential UFO from above. But how on earth has this been debunked? Well guys, Google have a very handy thing called 3D view. If you go into 3D view, you can see this is not a flat surface. And after it went viral on the internet, people said it was simply a water filtering facility. It was built in the architectural style of the Weiner succession. And guys, as you can see from people who have been to this thing, it's simply a water filtration system. That's right guys, this water tower is not a UFO whatsoever. Now that makes it a lot less interesting. This is a very convincing looking UFO from above. I can see how the UFO hunter on YouTube got confused. But guys, let me ask you in the comments, do you think aliens are real or not? And if you guys have had an alien experience, then please tell me in the comments below. But anyway guys, check out the poll in the top right corner and you can vote for the most amazing image which has finally been explained. I think it's the girl laying down in the street, as that caused such a stir. If you guys want more awesome videos, then check out my second channel. There'll be a link to that on screen in a moment. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.